Hi, it's Congresswoman Schakowsky. I want to talk to you about lymphedema. Those of you who have it certainly are familiar with it because it affects 3 to 5 million Americans. And about half, in some cases a little bit more than half, are Medicare patients. And 2/3 of the lymphedema cases are afflicting people who it's associated with cancer. Those of you who are not all that familiar with it may know a woman who has had her breast removed and had lymph nodes taken out, and you see her arm swelling, quite swelled up, and discomfort. And it's chronic. And guess what? There are no pharmaceuticals, no medicines, no drugs that can address this. But there is something, and they are called compression garments. And maybe you've seen those too. Putting on a very unsquishy sleeve to cover the arm, and that can provide comfort and reduce the swelling, keep the swelling down, which is so very important. And it's not something that you use once in a while or every other day. This is like medicine, something that people who suffer from lymphedema can use every single day. One of the wonderful staffers in my office has lymphedema, not associated with cancer, so it's not just that. And so, another shocking fact is that there are some insurance companies that do not cover these compression garments, that it's not recognized as absolutely necessary. And so I introduced a piece of legislation that doesn't do everything, the Lymphedema Treatment Act, and that's H.R. 3630, House Resolution. That's the number of the bill, the Lymphedema Treatment Act. And what it would say that Medicare needs to cover the compression garments that are prescribed by a doctor. It's like a medicine. They're prescribed by a doctor for all Medicare patients. Now, private insurance, etc., is not necessarily in this bill, but I think it could really help move this agenda forward. So it's a standalone bill, and I've been fighting for it, and I'm going to continue to keep fighting for it. But one of the things that I've heard from the advocates is, why don't we get it into the legislation that we're drafting right now, the Build Back Better Act, that can pass with only a simple majority in the Senate. Get it passed, put it in the House bill, and then work on getting it in the Senate and needing only 51 votes. And so we're going to work hard over the next few days to get this in the legislation. So one of the things that I think you ought to do, if you care about this, you care about someone, particularly someone on Medicare, that would be people with disabilities and senior citizens, people over 65 years old. You want to call your legislator and say, why don't we get this in, we call it a reconciliation bill. That's the meaning of getting it to be able to pass with just a simple majority in the Senate. and we're also calling it the Build Back Better plan, or Build Back Better Act, and include these compression garments for people who suffer from lymphedema. It's only fair. It's only fair. If they could, if you're one of those people, if you could take a pill, you would. And so this is the same idea, and it's unfair. And so let's fight hard. Let's do it. And I promise you, if we somehow can't get it into the bill that we're working on now, we're not going to give up this fight. And we're not going to stop fighting with the insurance industry. And we're going to get those compression garments because they are healthcare. They are a necessity. So thanks. It's been a pleasure to work with you.